Caitlin isn't just great for women's basketball. She is great for the entire game. She's more than just points.
She absolutely is. I mean, let's not forget, this is a young woman who led the nation in assists as well. She's accomplished records that haven't ever been accomplished in the sport of collegiate basketball.
Imagine having a coach who's studied every move you make, breaking down your game and highlighting your talent long before you even set foot in the WNBA. For Caitlin Clark, that coach might just be Stephanie White. But here's the twist. What does Clark actually think of Coach Steph now that she could be the one guiding her career on the court?
But I noticed that the first person that you greeted from the Connecticut team was actually head coach Stephanie White.
In a candid moment, Caitlin Clark revealed her true feelings about Coach Steph, and her words left everyone stunned. Could this be the perfect pairing to bring a championship to Indiana? Or is there more to the story? In this video, we'll dive into Coach Stephanie White's candidacy for the Fever head coach role, uncover what she really thinks about Clark, and finally reveal what Caitlin truly feels about Coach Steph. Get ready for a revelation that could shape the future of the WNBA.
Former Hawkeye Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever will have a new head coach next season. The organization announced they have parted ways with Christy Sides after 2 years.
6 WNBA teams are now without a head coach, and the Indiana Fever just joined the party. What's going on? The WNBA coaching landscape is in flux, and the Fever are the latest team to enter the search for fresh leadership. On October 27, 2024, Indiana made the call to part ways with head coach Christy Sides after just 2 seasons. Sides, who led the team to a 33-47 record, saw her tenure cut short despite guiding the Fever to a playoff appearance in her final season. So, what's next for the Fever and the WNBA? Let's dive into the shifting coaching landscape and what it means for the future of the league.
And Christy Sides has been fired. She is out as the Indiana Fever coach. So here we go with this.
At first glance, the decision seems puzzling. Coach Sides had injected a renewed sense of energy and cohesion into this young Fever squad. Players seemed to genuinely enjoy their time on the court, with team chemistry at an all-time high. Fans were rallying behind this revitalized roster, sensing a bright future just around the corner. Even team president Kelly Krauskopf praised Sides' ability to harness the team's energy and maintain morale, despite a challenging season. So why part ways now? In this video, we'll break down the reasoning and what it means for the Fever's next steps.
The way that they weathered the storm, got into a groove, after the Olympic break. I mean, I think she finished 18-12, after those first 10 games, and then of course went 7-4 in the last 11, and 3 of those losses were against teams in the finals. So for a young team to make that kind of progress, I mean, it's hard to not be impressed.
So why pull the plug now? The decision has sent shockwaves through the WNBA community, sparking reactions from outright shock to staunch support. Social media has been ablaze with debates. Supporters argue that Coach Sides deserved more time to build on her progress, while critics point to struggles with defensive strategies and in-game adjustments as valid reasons for the change, especially for a team that's eager to win now. But there's an undeniable factor here: Caitlin Clark. The arrival of a generational talent like Clark brings sky-high expectations and immense pressure. Coaching a player of her caliber is a double-edged sword. On one hand, she's a game-changing superstar who can elevate the entire team. On the other, her presence brings relentless scrutiny to every decision. The challenge of maximizing Clark's talents while developing the rest of the roster requires not only basketball savvy, but also a strong handle on managing egos, media attention, and the hopes of an entire franchise. Coach Sides' departure signals that the Fever's front office feels a new voice is needed to guide this team into the Caitlin Clark era.
Everybody in this company's all in. Everybody in this city's all in. So I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever basketball.
But there's more to this story than meets the eye. The coaching change is just one piece of a larger puzzle. The Fever have recently undergone a major front office transformation, with Kelly Krauskopf stepping back in as president of basketball operations and Amber Cox taking on the role of general manager. Krauskopf didn't hold back when addressing the coaching change, stating, "While decisions like these are never easy, it's imperative that we remain bold and assertive in pursuing our goals, maximizing our talent and bringing another WNBA championship back to Indiana." The message is clear. The Fever aren't content with just making the playoffs. They're aiming for the top, and they believe a new coach is the key to getting them there. This decision marks a pivotal moment for the franchise as they position themselves for a potential leap into championship contention. The pieces are in place for a dramatic transformation, but one crucial element remains missing. So, who will step into this high-stakes role? The Fever need a coach who can handle the spotlight, develop young talent, and implement a system that maximizes the unique skills of players like Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and veterans such as Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull. They need someone capable of navigating the pressures of a win-now mentality while still fostering long-term growth. And as the coaching search intensifies, one name has emerged as a frontrunner, someone with a connection to Indiana's rich basketball heritage and a vision for its future.
Whoever takes this job is either going to be, you're either going to be criticized, maybe wrongfully, but criticized more than your coach. But if you succeed, you are the GOAT coach. Like, if somebody wins 3 rings with Caitlin Clark, and let's just say Cheryl Reeve has won 4 with Maya Moore, whoever wins 3 rings with Caitlin Clark is going to be considered the best coach of all time.
Indiana basketball runs deep, and one coach's journey may be coming full circle. From player to analyst to coach of the year, her path has led her back to where it all began. But here's the million-dollar question. Can she unlock Caitlin Clark's full potential and restore glory to Indiana? The name on everyone's lips is Stephanie White, a coach whose roots in Indiana basketball run as deep as the state's love for the game. White's connection to the Hoosier State isn't just professional, it's personal. Born and raised in West Lebanon, Indiana, a mere hour and a half from Indianapolis, she's not only familiar with Indiana's basketball culture, she's lived and breathed it her entire life.
There was a lot of conversation regarding Stephanie White. Now, Stephanie White has played in the WNBA. She was an assistant on the Indiana Fever when they won the championship with the great Tamika Catchings in 2012. And she also was the head coach for the organization before moving to the NCAA and finally returning to the WNBA with the Connecticut Sun.
White's journey with the Indiana Fever began as a player, donning the team's jersey from 2000 to 2004. However, it was her transition to coaching that truly showcased her basketball brilliance. In 2015, White took the reins as the Fever's head coach, and what followed was nothing short of remarkable. In her very first season at the helm, she guided the team to the WNBA Finals, proving that her understanding of the game translated seamlessly from the court to the sidelines. White was also an integral part of the Fever during their championship run under Lynn Dunn's leadership, which only deepened her ties to the franchise. But White's story doesn't end there. After her stint with the Fever, she took her talents to the college ranks, honing her skills and developing her coaching philosophy. Just when it seemed her path might lead her away from the WNBA, fate intervened, and she returned to the league as the head coach of the Connecticut Sun. During her time with the Sun, White's coaching prowess reached new heights. Over 2 seasons, she amassed an impressive 55-25 record, a testament to her ability to maximize talent and implement winning strategies. Her efforts didn't go unnoticed, as she was crowned the WNBA Coach of the Year in 2023, solidifying her status as one of the league's premier coaching minds. Now, with her recent release from the Connecticut Sun, a tantalizing possibility has emerged: a reunion with the Indiana Fever. But what makes White such an intriguing candidate for the Fever's vacancy? It's not just her Indiana roots or her past success with the team. It's her coaching philosophy and system that have experts and fans alike buzzing about the potential fit.
Yeah, it's exciting. Certainly I was born and raised in Indiana, and so have a lot of pride in Indiana basketball, and a lot of pride in the Fever organization, being a player and a coach there. And it's exciting what's happening with the organization and where they are. I mean, most organizations have their ups and downs, certainly. But I'm proud of the growth of the Indiana Fever. Excited, about the future of the Indiana Fever.
White's coaching philosophy centers around patience and player development, 2 vital components for a young team poised for greatness. Her offensive system, which thrived in Connecticut, could seamlessly align with the Fever's current roster. Picture Caitlin Clark, with her exceptional court vision and scoring prowess, unleashed in a framework tailored to amplify those talents. But what truly sets this narrative apart is White's unwavering support for Clark in a league where veterans have often doubted her. During Clark's rocky rookie season, when critics were quick to write her off, White remained a steadfast advocate. In a candid moment that surprised many, she openly defended Clark, stating, Caitlin has the potential to be a game changer. It's crucial to give her the space to grow and evolve.
I think anytime you're a young team that's really growing into yourself, the understanding of one another, the timing, the pace, the connectedness just wasn't quite there early. It's there now. Everybody on the floor understands how, when, and where Caitlin Clark can get them the ball, and so they get there.
This wasn't just standard coach speak or empty praise. It was the mark of a seasoned professional seeing the remarkable talent and potential in a young star, even as others were quick to judge. White's support for Clark has gone far beyond that single instance. Throughout Clark's college years and into her early professional career, White has consistently highlighted her basketball IQ, relentless work ethic, and game-changing abilities. This enduring admiration shows White doesn't just view Clark as a skilled player. She sees her as the foundation of a championship-caliber team. The possibility of White and Clark joining forces has fans and analysts alike envisioning championship celebrations in Indianapolis. White's strategic brilliance, paired with Clark's extraordinary skill set, could create a duo capable of reshaping WNBA basketball. Yet, it's not only about strategy and stats. White's deep-rooted connection to Indiana basketball brings an intangible, emotional layer to this potential reunion, making the dream of a Fever dynasty feel more alive than ever.
Caitlin Clark is just at the epitome of the intersection of social media, of pop culture, and fan engagement in a way that we've never seen, and she's moving the needle forward for all athletes.
In a recent interview, White's love for her home state radiated as she shared, "I was born and raised in Indiana and have a lot of pride in Indiana basketball." For White, this isn't just another coaching opportunity. It's a chance to return home and build something meaningful with a franchise that holds a special place in her heart. As speculation heats up and the Fever's coaching search narrows, the possibility of White's return has sparked a wave of excitement among fans. The potential pairing of White and Clark is being hailed as a dream team, a duo that could not only bring championships to Indiana, but also reshape the landscape of the WNBA itself.
Let's continue to play to our strengths. Let's find different ways to get the ball to our players. And then when we get time in the offseason, then we'll work on that next step or that next level.
But amidst all the excitement and speculation, one vital question remains. What does Caitlin Clark really think about Coach Stephanie White? We've heard White's high praise for Clark, but as the Fever's new centerpiece and face of the franchise, Clark's opinion will undoubtedly carry significant weight. Her thoughts on White could be the final piece of the puzzle that shapes not only the Fever's coaching future, but also the trajectory of the franchise for years to come.
A lot of my games all throughout college, and I just think she has a really great basketball mind. I think she's done a great job calling college games. It's been great to see her on NBA games.
Caitlin Clark is known for her diplomacy when it comes to basketball opinions. She's perfected the polite nod and the art of the non-committal response. But something about Stephanie White seems to have cracked that facade. What could have prompted Clark to break her silence and speak candidly about a potential coach? As the Fever's franchise cornerstone, her voice carries significant weight, and any coaching decision will likely need her stamp of approval. It's a responsibility that comes with being a generational talent, and one that Clark doesn't take lightly. Yet in a league where some veterans have cast doubt on her abilities, Clark's true feelings about potential coaches have remained a closely guarded secret, until now.
I think that's going to be a lot of fun for the both of us.
Most WNBA players and coaches have kept their opinions on Caitlin Clark close to the vest, balancing praise with a bit of skepticism about her transition to the pro game. This cautious approach has left fans and analysts alike wondering, does Clark hold the same reservations about the coaches being considered for the Fever's top job? Clark is known for staying above the fray, offering diplomatic responses that reveal little of her true feelings, a strategy that's kept her focused and drama-free. But in a surprising turn, Clark broke her typical silence and spoke openly about Stephanie White's basketball acumen, offering insight that has only intensified the buzz around this potential pairing.
I think what she's done is she's obviously, she's been a trailblazer, honestly. I think she's always been somebody that's been supportive of my game, and it's been fun to talk to her at shoot-arounds throughout my college career and always been really supportive.
The mutual admiration between Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White has the basketball world buzzing. Could this shared respect lay the foundation for a powerful player-coach partnership? As the Fever press on in their coaching search, the prospect of White's return to Indiana looms large, with Clark's apparent endorsement adding fuel to the fire. It feels as though the pieces are aligning for a homecoming that could redefine the franchise's trajectory. Yet, as with all things in professional sports, nothing is set in stone until the contracts are signed. Will this mutual respect translate to on-court success, or is there more beneath the surface? The ink may still be dry, but the Fever's ambitions are anything but. Respect between coach and star is essential, yet building a dynasty requires more. What's the missing piece that could transform Indiana from playoff contenders into championship favorites? Make no mistake, the Indiana Fever aren't just looking for a coach. They're chasing a championship, and with a roster loaded with young talent and seasoned veterans, they're sitting on a powder keg of potential.
This is about the Indiana Fever. Yes, we have a foundational player in Caitlin Clark and Leah Boston, and we're going to continue to add to that. But I want this team to be the leader in the country.
As their first-round playoff sweep by the Connecticut Sun painfully showed, potential alone won't bring championships to Indiana. The Fever's early exit exposed glaring weaknesses that must be addressed if they aim to compete for the WNBA's ultimate prize. Defense, in particular, has been a persistent issue, with the team often struggling to contain high-powered offenses at crucial moments. And while team chemistry has shown improvement, it still falls short of the cohesion seen in championship-caliber squads. This is where the right coach could be transformative. The Fever need a strategist who can craft a system that not only unleashes Caitlin Clark's otherworldly offensive talents, but also shores up the team's defensive gaps. They need a leader who can make those critical in-game adjustments that turn narrow losses into hard-fought wins. Most importantly, they need someone capable of molding this collection of talent into a cohesive, resilient unit ready to perform under the intense pressure of playoff basketball.
The Fever believe they need a new voice on the sideline in order to get to that next step, to that championship level, which they're not playing around with. Clearly, they're taking it very seriously.
But even the most brilliant coach can't win championships without the right pieces on the court. That's where the Fever's front office, led by newly appointed President Kelly Krauskopf and General Manager Amber Cox, steps in. With significant cap space at their disposal, Indiana is in a prime position to make a splash in free agency. Their mission? To add experienced players who can elevate this young, talented core to a new level of competitiveness. One name circulating around WNBA circles is Sutta Sabali of the Dallas Wings. Her versatility and two-way play style could be just what the Fever need to shore up their defensive gaps while adding another dynamic scoring threat. Natasha Howard, with her championship experience and defensive prowess, could provide the veteran leadership and rim protection that Indiana has been sorely missing. However, before the Fever can set their sights on these high-profile free agents, they have some in-house priorities to address. Kelsey Mitchell, a franchise cornerstone, is entering free agency, and retaining her will be crucial. Mitchell's scoring ability and on-court experience aren't just stats. They're vital elements of the continuity and chemistry Indiana needs as they look to build a championship-caliber roster around Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston.
Yes, we are. We're definitely in a position, and I would think that if you are a smart basketball player and you watch the way she plays, you would want to play with her.
The pieces are there for Indiana to make a significant leap. With the right coach, smart free agent acquisitions, and the continued development of their young stars, the Fever could quickly transform from playoff contenders to championship favorites. But as the coaching search intensifies and free agency approaches, one question remains. Can the Fever strike the perfect balance between raw potential and proven experience to build a true WNBA powerhouse? As the Indiana Fever stand at this pivotal crossroads, it's clear that their next coaching decision will profoundly shape Caitlin Clark's WNBA journey. With the right mentor, Clark has the potential to elevate her game to MVP levels, following in the footsteps of legends like Diana Taurasi and Candace Parker, who thrived under strong leadership. If the Fever play their cards right, we might just be witnessing the birth of the next great WNBA dynasty. The future of Indiana basketball hangs in the balance, and the world is watching. The ingredients are there for something extraordinary. A young superstar, a talented roster, and a fan base hungry for success. But what about that final piece? That's where you come in. What kind of coach do you think can unleash Clark's full potential and lead this team to glory? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more WNBA insights.